The broadcast that broke the silence. The studio had never felt smaller or more electric. Every phone line blazing red. The email counter climbing so fast the numbers blurred. Text messages flooding the station's emergency line. I'd just told 40,000 listeners that my parents were broken, and running out of options. This is my sequence crisis night, I said into the microphone. My voice steadier than my hands. For the next 2 hours, we're going to tell the truth about American retirement. Not the Fidelity commercial version. The real one. My producer, Jake 26 and still believing in 401k. Matching like it was religion held up a sign. 387 calls waiting. I pressed line 1. The flood begins. Mira. This is Dorothy from Mansfield. I'm 74. When you said your dad fell helping your mom, I started sobbing. That was last year. My husband Harold tried to lift me after I slipped in the shower. Broke 3 ribs. Medicare covered the hospital, but not the home health aid we needed after. We spent $40,000 from our IRA. In 4 months. What happened then, Dorothy? We moved in with our son. Sold the house we'd owned since 1976. But you know what? We're together. Harold still makes me laugh. That's worth more than any zip code. Line 2 crackled. This is James from Lakewood. I need to know, should I take Social Security at 62? Or wait? Everyone says wait until 70 for the extra 8% per year. But my dad died at 68. Never saw a penny. James, what's your health like? Diabetes. High blood pressure. The men in my family don't make it past 75. Then the math changes, doesn't it? Social Security at 62 means less per month, but more months. If you claim at 62 and get $1,800 versus waiting until 70 for $3,200, you break even at age 78. Will you make it to 78? Silence. Then, probably not. Then stop optimizing for longevity you won't have. Optimize for life you will. The Medicare maze. Email from Robert in Toledo. Help. Medicare Advantage or Medigap. Enrollment deadline in 3 weeks. Advantage is 0 premium, but YouTube says it's a scam. Medigap Plan G is $230 month. I don't have. I pulled up my notes from interviewing 300 retirees. Here's the truth nobody will say clearly. Medicare Advantage works until you're sick. Then those prior authorizations, network restrictions, and out-of-pocket maximums hit. Medigap costs more monthly, but covers what original Medicare doesn't. It's insurance versus a discount club. Can you afford $230 monthly? Or can you afford $7,900 out of pocket when your knee gives out? The board lit up with Medicare stories. Advantage plans denying cancer treatment. Medigap saving someone from bankruptcy after a stroke. Part D formularies changing mid-year. Tripling medication costs. Medicare isn't one thing, I explained. It's Part A for hospitals. Part B for doctors. Part D for drugs. Medigap for gaps. Or Advantage for all-in-one with strings. The average retiree spends $6,000 yearly on healthcare after Medicare. That's not in any retirement calculator. Top 5 retirement truths revealed tonight. Social Security is the backbone. For 40% of retirees, it's 90% of income. Medicare is confusing but manageable. Original Medigap comprehensive but pricey. Advantage cheap until you need it. 401 crop withdrawals can be strategic, not just 4% rule. Sequence matters more than percentage. Long-term care needs a plan. Insurance, Medicaid, or family. Choose before crisis chooses for you. The $1 million myth is just that, a myth. Most retirees have far less and manage. The RMD Rebellion. Call from Phoenix. They're forcing me to take $38,000 from my IRA this year. My RMD at age 75. It'll push me into a higher tax bracket and increase my Medicare premiums through IRMAA. How is this fair? It's not about fair, I replied. The government gave you tax breaks for decades. Now they want their cut. But here's what you can do: qualified charitable distributions. Send up to $100,000 directly to charity. Satisfies your RMD. Never hits your taxes. But I'm not charitable. Then get charitable. Or do Roth conversions. Now pay taxes today at known rates versus unknown tomorrow. Or use the RMD for your grandkids' 529 plans. Turn forced withdrawals into purposeful giving. The emails poured in about Roth conversions. When? How much? Worth it at 70? Roth conversions aren't about the math, I said. They're about control. Traditional IRA withdrawals are taxable and forced after 73. Roth withdrawals are tax-free and optional forever. You're buying flexibility, not returns. The movement forms. At midnight, something shifted. The calls stopped being questions and became declarations. I'm done waiting for $1 million. Starting my retirement with $400,000. Claiming Social Security next month. My husband needs me home. Cancelled my financial advisor. His models don't include my mother's Alzheimer's. Using our Roth IRA for a family reunion. Grandkids won't remember our balance. Listener after listener. Choosing their sequence. People over projections. Time over targets. Money as tool, not master. I grabbed the microphone with both hands. This is it. This is the movement. We're done measuring retirement by someone else's number. We're done optimizing for longevity we might not have. We're done saving for nursing homes while missing birthday parties. Starting tomorrow, my sequence becomes our collective project. Send your stories, your parents' bills, your Social Security statements, your Medicare confusion, your 401k anxiety. We'll solve them together. Not perfectly honestly. By 2 a.m., we'd received over 3,000 messages. Retirees with $50,000 living well. Near millionaires paralyzed by fear. Widows navigating survivor benefits. Adult children drowning in parent care. Here's what tonight taught me, I said. Exhausted but electric. The retirement crisis isn't about money. It's about permission. Permission to claim Social Security when you need it. Not when optimization says. Permission to spend your 401k on presence instead of preservation. Permission to see Medicare as healthcare, not a financial product. Permission to admit $1 million won't save you if you're measuring wrong. I thought about dad in rehab, practicing walking between parallel bars. Mom in memory care, calling me by my childhood nickname. Our IRA draining at $12,000 monthly. The house we'd probably sell by spring. My family chose our sequence. People first, mom and dad together as long as possible. Time second, quality over quantity. Money third, spending everything if needed. It's not the smartest financial plan, but it's the only plan we can live with. The last caller of the night was Betty from Zanesville, the widow with $700,000 who shopped at Goodwill. I bought a plane ticket, she said through tears. First class to Seattle. My granddaughter's recital is Thursday. I'll be there. What change? I asked. You did. All of you. I realized I wasn't saving money. I was hoarding fear. My husband didn't work nights at the steel mill so I could die rich and afraid. He worked so I could live. So here's my question for you watching. If you could change just one thing about your retirement plan tomorrow, what would it be? A Social Security decision, a Medicare choice, a 401k withdrawal, or just permission to stop measuring wrong? Tell us in the comments. Because tomorrow, we're building something new. Not $1 million retirement. A life dollar retirement, where every dollar serves your sequence. People, time, then money. This is Mira Han, reminding you that the best retirement plan isn't the one with the most zeros. It's the one that lets you sleep through the night and smile through the day. The sequence is set, now we live it. The studio was silent now, but it hummed with something invisible. The weight of 3,000 stories hanging in the air, like dust motes in morning light. Coffee cups lined the console like soldiers. My notebook looked like a war journal. Every page a different retirement battlefield. Jake, my producer, walked in with printouts. The podcast version already has 40,000 downloads. The station's website crashed twice. Mira, this isn't just a show anymore. He was right. What started as my confession about my parents' crisis had become something else. A permission slip for an entire generation to stop measuring wrong. I spread 3 letters across the desk. The ones that started everything. Robert from Kettering, paralyzed by his first RMD notice at 73. Unable to help his daughter, because the IRS required him to withdraw money he didn't need. Sunwoo from Indianapolis, with calendars full of red squares. Measuring wealth in afternoons with grandkids instead of quarterly statements. His 401k rolled to an IRA worth $387,000, not $1 million. But enough for his sequence. Ya Young from Toledo, the widow with the receipt envelope, learning that her husband's Social Security survivor benefit came with something more important than money. Permission to live. 3 people, 3 truths, none of them millionaires, all teaching me the same lesson. The number doesn't matter if the sequence is wrong. Robert wrote last week. Used my RMD for my daughter's medical bills. $32,000 withdrawn. $24,000 after taxes. Covered her surgery. Best tax bill I ever paid. From Sunwoo, grandson started college. Using QCDs from my RMD to fund it. Never hits my taxes. Goes straight to his future. From Ya Young. Spent $500 from my Roth IRA on Joy this month. Autumn leaves. Expensive coffee. David would have laughed at the receipts. That's how I know it was right. Over the past year, patterns emerged from thousands of conversations. The same fears, the same paralysis, the same measuring wrong. So we built something different. Not another calculator. A permission framework. Permission to claim Social Security when you need it. Not when optimization says, at 62 you get less, but more months. 75% of something beats 100% of nothing if you die at 70. Permission to see Medicare as healthcare, not a chess match. Original plus Medigap costs more but covers more. Advantage is cheaper until you get sick. Permission to use 401k and IRA as tools, not monuments. The 4% rule is a guide, not gospel. Some years take more, some less, some all at once. Permission to consider Roth conversions as flexibility, not just tax math. Control matters more than calculations. Permission to plan long-term care without perfection. Insurance, Medicaid, reverse mortgage, family. All imperfect. Choose the one you can live with. The emails kept coming. Not asking for advice anymore. Sharing victories. From Michigan. Took Social Security at 64. Not optimal, but my wife has cancer. Every day matters more than dollars. From Oregon. Did a Roth conversion ladder. My kids won't inherit a tax bomb. From Georgia. Bought long-term care insurance at 58. Expensive, yes, but my daughter won't face what I faced with mom. From Arizona. Started an HSA at 55. Deductible, tax-free growth, tax-free spending. My Medicare Bridge account. Each story reinforced the same truth. There's no perfect retirement plan. Only your plan. Built on your sequence. With tools as support. But tools without permission are just expensive anxiety. Tonight, 1 year after that crisis broadcast, I make this pledge. My sequence continues. Weekly broadcasts. Real families solving real problems. Not products. Not perfection. Just permission. We'll talk about Social Security claiming strategies. Medicare's alphabet soup. Withdrawal strategies for sustainable lives. And honest long-term care. But mostly, we'll keep giving permission. To measure differently. To put money third. Robert's piece. Used this year's RMD for grandson's trade school. $40,000. My advisor said I'm depleting too fast. I said I'm distributing. There's a difference. His daughter now brings dinner every Sunday. Talking about everything but money. Sunwoo's gallery. Calendars now cover 2 walls. More red squares than ever. 4 generations at Thanksgiving. Matching turkey hats. That dinner cost me a month of withdrawals. ROI was infinite. He converts $10,000 yearly to Roth. Not for me. For them. My gift isn't just money, it's time. Ya Young's exhibition. 15 watercolors at the community center. Wobbly, imperfect, beautiful. This one sold for $100. She beamed. Meta Joy using joy money to make more joy. Her Roth down to $75,000. Traditional steady at $400,000. I'm using Roth for living. Traditional for care. If never needed, my nieces inherit. If needed, at least I lived first. Myris True. Parents' house sold for $280,000. $195,000 remain. Mom in memory care. Dad in assisted living next door. They see each other daily. The money lasts 14 months. Then Medicaid. For now, they're safe. And I can sleep. My own changes maxed HSA. Started $5,000 Roth conversions. Bought long-term care insurance. My 401k is $52,000 at 40. Still not a million. But I stopped chasing that track. The studio expanded. My sequence to 5 nights weekly. Plus podcast, newsletter, meetups. Not to sell, just to share. The on-air light glowed red. Another 1,000 listeners needing permission more than advice. This is Mira Han with My Sequence. Tonight, remember this: retirement isn't about reaching. It's about using. Using Social Security when it serves your sequence. Using Medicare as healthcare. Using your 401k and IRA as tools for living. Using Roth conversions for control. Using every dollar in service of people. Time. Then money. We didn't all get to $1 million. But we did get to enough. And enough is everything. I looked into the camera. Now it's your turn. Write your sequence. People. Time. Money. Share it in the comments. Because this conversation doesn't end with my voice. It begins with yours. Tomorrow, Robert's grandson starts trade school. Sunwoo's building a treehouse. Ya Young's painting another sunset. My parents are holding hands through memory's fog. None of us have $1 million. All of us have enough. The difference, we finally know what we're measuring. This is Mira Han, reminding you one last time. Your retirement number isn't $1 million. It's 3. People first. Time second. Money third. Now go fill your calendar. The squares are waiting. And remember, your sequence starts now. Not in numbers, but in the moments you choose to live. Share your sequence in the comments. Because your story may be the permission someone else is waiting for.